What can make you walk up? And I just gotta know what can make you walk up. Yeah, I just need to know if you still will walk
Welcome to the Homegrown Radio Hour, live from CrescentHillRadio.com, broadcasting from Louisville, Kentucky, here in Crescent Hill. Thanks for tuning in tonight, and thank you to our sponsor, the Wine Rack, up here in Frankfort Avenue, for sponsoring the show for us tonight. We really appreciate that. And we've got a very, very special guest and a good old friend of mine in the house with me tonight, Mr. Nick Reifsteck. How are you doing, Nick?
I'm just fine, Christy. I'm glad to be here. Thank you very much.
I'm glad to have you. We've been trying to coordinate this for quite a while.
Quite a while.
Glad we finally made it happen. It's good to see you. We go way, way, way back.
Yeah.
Way back.
Poetry at U of L in 1980.
Yeah, probably 79, 80, something like that.
Leon Driscoll is the name.
That's
from way
right.
back.
Yeah, Leon Driscoll.
Good Lord.
yeah, good old Leon and Jeff Lehman and a lot of other wonderful people in our common past. So what have you been up to all these years?
Well, I lived in Los Angeles for a couple years in the mid-'80s and moved back to Louisville and just concentrated on playing in bands, going from band to band.
Lots of them.
Lots of them, yeah. But I've been a lead guitarist since 1974, and it's the only thing that I've stuck with all these years. Marriages come and go, but the guitar is always
it's consistent.
It's constant,
like a pet. Yeah, so Nick, people might know Nick if you're listening, from Jill Thorpe and the Beat Boys, one of my favorite bands from back in the day, and Bodeco, Dallas Alice. The Holidays, Hellfish.
And, Hellfish, Mr. Jimmy, and I've sat in with Johnny Berry.
Johnny Berry, Earbone.
Oh, it reached a point around, I want to say 05, 06, 07, where I couldn't say no. And I was playing in a lot of bands, and I think my reputation may have suffered a little bit.
No, never. I mean, some people, they have to play, and I think you're one of those guys. And I don't think a lot of folks realize that you have your own work. You're also a singer-songwriter.
I've been writing songs since high school.
Long time.
I mean, when you're 53, you can't sing all of the songs that you wrote when you were in your 20s because you just seem kind of foolish.
Too embarrassed.
Right. But I still write. I love singing, and I don't get a chance to play my songs very often.
Well, you're going to get a chance tonight.
All right.
And, actually, why don't we go ahead and hear one or two?
Okay. This is a fairly new one. This is called Baltimore Night, and I want to dedicate this one to my honey Faye, and to Jill, who's listening in Baltimore tonight.
Jill Thorpe, shout out to you. Nick Reifsteck with me on the Homegrown Radio Hour here on Crescent Hill Radio.
In a Baltimore night, and you're all alone. The streets are dark, and the house is cold. In a Baltimore night, when there isn't any truth, you're whispering a prayer and hear the rain upon the roof. In a Baltimore night, you gaze upon the same sky I see from miles away. You feel the same things I feel, and I don't have to use a telephone to say, but let the bright light shine in your heart the same way they shine in mine. Don't forget to leave a candle in the window. I've just got to get to Baltimore in time. Now I've seen Baltimore at night, and it haunts me in my dreams like a distant harbor light. But I don't know what it means to be a Baltimore boy and find my Baltimore girl. We'll take in all the sights, and then we'll take flight from this Baltimore world. In a Baltimore night, you gaze upon the same sky I see from miles away. You'll feel the same things I feel, and I don't have to use a telephone to say, but let the bright light shine in your heart the same way they shine in mine. Don't forget to leave a candle in the window. I've just got to get to Baltimore in time. Ooh.
Yes, and you were listening to the wonderful voice of Nick Reifsteck here with me, Christy Bird Stevens, live on the Homegrown Radio Hour.
Thank you.
Shout out to Jill Thorpe up there in Baltimore, and what a nice, lovely song.
Thank you.
Lovely.
Thank you. I actually wrote that song before I ever set foot in the city of Baltimore.
Wow.
It's a long story, but it's a great story. But I mean,
We love stories.
There's not enough time to really go into it. But that song, it came from the heart. I mean, it was
evident.
It was easy to write.
Yeah, I've never been to Baltimore, and it's a place that I have these fantasies about. I think they came from Nina Simone album named Baltimore, and I just have these images of what it must be like there and how delicious their crab cakes probably are.
It's an awesome town. It really is.
Yeah,
I've
I've heard a lot of good things about Baltimore. So, are you playing out these days? What are you doing now?
Well, I am sporadically. I left Hellfish, Mr. Jimmy, back in November, and I played the Town's Tribute in January. I may have a State Fair gig. There's another radio station that's sponsoring a classic oldies package, the Turtles,
Wow,
Gary Puckett and
awesome.
the Union Gap, and all those guys from the 60s. Well, this radio station, I'm not going to name them, but they have an oldies band that warms up the main act, so it's like 17 minutes, and the guy asked me, he said, can you play lead guitar for me in this thing? So yeah, August 22nd I might be
Wow, that's
in
cool.
the old Cardinal Stadium.
That is so cool. We don't mind if you name the other radio station.
Well, it's WAKY.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wacky. We love
Yeah.
Wacky.
Oh, yeah.
I grew up listening to Wacky. Shout out to Wacky. And it's funny that you mentioned Gary Puckett and the Union Gap. The very first concert I ever went to, my father took me to see Gary Puckett and the Union Gap at the fairgrounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I was, and then the Hermits also played.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them together on the same bill.
Yeah.
I was probably in 5th grade or something like that. Funny.
Yeah, those groups, they still sound good. They
I
do.
love that genre of music, and what an influence it's had on people our age, huh?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Everything from Gary Puckett to Grand Funk Railroad to Elvis Presley, and more. Hank Williams.
Mm-hmm.
So, a gig possibly coming up at the State Fair, and what's the name of the group, or who is it?
It's the Wacky Oldies All-Stars.
Oh, cool. So
Yeah.
it's a bunch of guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
Sounds like a blast.
I haven't gotten confirmed on it, but I'm ready.
That's so much
I'm
fun.
ready.
I remember Coyote Calhoun. Wasn't he a wacky DJ?
He was on Wacky for a while.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
He's still around.
He's still around.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So I have been working with a new group, Sunday Muffin Resurrection, and that consists of Jill Thorpe on accordion and vocals,
Fun.
Fred DeFrenzy on the bass,
Yeah.
and a guy named Bob Douglas on percussion. And Bob's played with lots and lots of people.
Name sounds familiar. And of course, I know Freddie and Jill have been around forever.
Oh, sure. We got together in December, and just by chance, and it felt so good. We thought, well, we ought to put something together. Let's do something.
Oh wow!
So
I
we're
can't wait.
actually going to debut in October at the Belknap Festival.
Nice.
I believe Friday, October 11th.
So, folks, if you're listening, we're talking to Nick Reifsteck here in the Homegrown Radio Hour, and he's a musician that's been around Louisville, Kentucky for a long, long time, as the Belknap Festival has been around for a while, and that's up in the Highlands at the Douglas Loop area. Great festival. They have it every summer, and they always have lots of good music.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of good music.
We're scheduled to be on the bill with Cheyenne
Mize.
yeah. And she's a good draw. So
yeah, she is.
So we're looking
She's
forward to that.
been here on the station with us in the past. And yeah, she gets better and better with time, like we all hope we do, right?
That's right. That's right.
Well, Nick, would you like to do some more tunes for us?
Yeah, I've got a song from a while back, and I co-wrote this song with a mutual friend of ours, Mr. Jeff Lehman, who passed away in September of '06. And
wow, has it been that long?
Yeah, yeah, he was a really good friend of mine. I knew him. We met in high school in the 10th grade, and it's funny, he grew up in the same neighborhood as I grew up in, but we never really met until 10th grade at Ballard. And he and some other guy, it's funny, he and some other guy were arguing over who was a better guitar player. I think it was because everybody played guitar when they were 14. And Jeff was arguing with this guy who was a better guitar player, Eric Clapton or Duane Allman. And they were like going back and forth. And this guy was like ribbing Jeff, you know. And I just turned around and said Duane Allman. And Jeff was like, "Hi, I'm Jeff." And
that may be how we met.
and yeah, he and I just started jamming and played in bands together and just had a lot of fun. And I miss him. He's one of those people that you think about every day.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
I miss him too. And,
Yeah.
I felt very blessed to know him as well as I did, and spend a lot of time with him back in the college days. And he was a wonderful man, a wonderful musician, incredible juggler.
And
Gosh, what a talent.
One of the most philosophical people I've ever met.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We would stay up all night long for days on end talking about everything under the sun.
Everything, yeah.
Yeah, I miss him too. And you're right, I do think about him every day. So yeah, shout out to Jeff's family. We love you all. And Nick Reifsteck here with me is going to do a song co-written with Jeff Lehman right now on the Homegrown Radio Hour.
This is called Clean White Shirt. Think of all the places you could be. Think of all the distance between you and me. Well, I've had enough of this pain and misery. I'm putting on a clean white shirt. I'm putting on a clean white shirt. Where did we finish? Where did we begin? Do you wonder what I'm up to every now and then? I guess I close my eyes and count from 1 to 10. I'm putting on a clean white shirt. I'm putting on a clean white shirt. Outside a fire is raging, down the shoreline to the pier. But inside the skies are changing. Gotta wish you were here. I'm putting on a clean white shirt. I'm putting on a clean white shirt. I put a letter in the mail today, telling everything I wanted to say. It doesn't matter anyway. I'm putting on a clean white shirt. I'm just slipping it over my shoulders and I button it tight. I swear it's the same thing every night. God, I wish you were here. I'm putting on a clean white shirt. I'm getting over it too. Putting on a clean white shirt. I'm getting over it. Outside a fire is raging down the shoreline to the pier. But inside the skies are changing. God, I wish you were here. I'm putting on a clean white shirt. I'm getting over it too. Putting on a clean white shirt. I'm getting over it too. Putting on a clean white shirt. I'm getting over it too. Putting on a clean white shirt. I'm getting over it too.
Wow, Nick. Yeah, Nick Reifsteck here with me on the Homegrown Radio Hour live
Thank
on
you.
PrestonHallRadio.com. And you're listening to Nick's original music. That one you just heard, Clean White Shirt, was co-written with our dear friend Jeff Lehman. And Jeff, we miss you, buddy, wherever you are. Shout out to you. Wow, what a great guy. And what a great song. I love the song, and I can hear Jeff in that, definitely. Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
It makes me miss him even more.
Well, I brought you a studio recording of that, a full band studio recording of that song, and he's singing background vocals on there.
Oh.
So he's in there.
I can't wait.
He's in there. He was going to play guitar on that session, and string broke, and just, it's like, well, man, you're here, sing. So yeah, it was fun.
May he rest in peace. Yeah, what a great man. So hopefully he's tuned in from wherever he is.
He was always tuned in.
He was always tuned in. That's right.
I wanted to mention, we were talking about shows coming up. I'm playing with Will Carey.
Oh, nice.
That's another act that I play guitar with. But he lately he's been doing just one show a year, and he's playing at Willow Park Sunday.
Great.
Sunday night at 7 o'clock.
This coming Sunday. Nick Reifsteck with Will Carey. Now that's going to be a great show.
Yeah, that's always fun.
Folks who don't know, Louisville, if you don't live in the city, we have a wonderful park system here in Louisville, Kentucky, and Willow Park is a wonderful little place right down off of Birdstown Road with a nice little bandstand, old-timey type design bandstand.
Right in the triangle.
Right in the triangle, and they do free concerts in the summer, and it's a great lot of fun, and it's free, and it's family friendly, and people bring their blankets and their kids and their picnic baskets, and yeah, it's a mob scene down there.
Yeah, it's always packed.
Yeah.
It's always packed. So we're looking forward to it.
So that'll be a great show, and I just want to hear more music. How about you play us a couple?
Okay, let me play you a couple back to back here. This is called Broken, and it's sort of deals with people in relationships and the baggage that they carry, and sometimes
Baggage?
love still conquers all. So
It definitely does. Nick Reifsteck on the Homegrown Radio Hour.
oh, we bear so much baggage, you and I. And it's a wonder that this plane can even fly. The worst that could happen, we could crash and we could die. But I would hold you in my arms as we tumble from the sky. How did we, baby, you and me, get to be so broken? Saying things better left unspoken, words that only leave us choking. How did we, baby, you and me, get to be so broken? Well, I'm so sorry that I missed your call. You didn't sound like you'd been crying at all. It seems we go to pieces just a little at a time, till there's nothing left of us but the nickels and the dimes. Well, how did we, baby, you and me, get to be so broken? Saying things better left unspoken, words that only leave us choking. How did we, baby, you and me, get to be so broken? Feelings hurt, feelings spare. Baby, every broken thing can somehow be repaired. Well, we've seen the dice go rolling past, and the years go by so very fast. It may be your last breath, I'll be waiting for you then, when you find it in your heart to let me love you again. Well, how did we, baby, you and me, get to be so broken? Saying things better left unspoken, words that only leave us choking. How did we, baby, you and me, get to be so broken? Oh, we bear so much baggage, you and I, and it's a wonder that this plane can even fly.
Yeah.
I'm going to try this one, and this is another one. You've got that full band version with, you know, pedal steel guitars and everything. This is called Not the Man You Married. And anybody who's ever been married to me will attest to that fact.
All right.
I used to joke about being married 16 times, but I've only been married twice. So.
Oh, good. You're about to scare me, Nick. Nick Reifsteck here on the Homegrown Radio Hour on Crest Miller Radio.
A tear begins to well up in a deep blue eye. Precious crimson lips tremble and stifle a sigh. Emotions driven to the limits cannot be denied, but everything I say to you just makes you cry. Apologies are old and feeble, on this we agree. I'm sorry it doesn't cut it when it comes to you from me. Well, I'm just not myself today. I'm starting to see that I'm only half the man I used to be. Now I'm not the man you married, I've tried to tell you so. What's happened to my better half, we'll never know. And the sensitive and caring side that used to show is not the man you married so many years ago. Well, I know I've said my share of unkind things to you, but it takes two to argue, and you know you do it too. When I think of all the right and wrong that we've been through, if I could meet you halfway, I'd be the man you once knew. Now I'm not the man you married, I've tried to tell you so. What's happened to my better half, we'll never know. And the sensitive and caring side that used to show is not the man you married so many years ago. So take me in your arms and honey, forgive my sins again. Sometimes I'm quite the loser, and without you I can't win. So let's start this record over, let the dance begin again. I could introduce myself and you could let me in, but I'm not the man you married, I've tried to tell you so. What's happened to my better half, we'll never know. And the sensitive and caring side that used to show is not the man you married so many years ago. So many years ago. So many years ago. Made it.
Yeah.
Oh
Nick
my gosh.
Reifsteck.
Thank you.
Wow. This is a real departure from like some of the punk type bands you've played with in the past, Bodeco.
Yeah. And what I really dig is playing the blues. I mean,
Yeah.
as a lead guitarist, I mean, I've made pilgrimages. I mean, Robert Johnson's grave, Dwayne Allman, Barry Oakley's graves, Buddy Holly's grave, you know.
That's
Peter
funny.
Graves. I don't know.
I've known you for, I mean, we were both kids really when we met years ago, and both of us were, well, I was very much into jazz music at the time. And,
Yeah, I was.
and
yeah.
you were getting into it. I actually gave you a pile of records that I never got back.
I've still got them.
Jazz records.
I've still got them. Send me
Yeah.
a list of what you're missing.
Oh,
and I've
hell.
still
You think I remember? That was like 30 years ago. 30 years ago.
But yeah, Jeff and I went.
Yeah.
We studied jazz with Jeff Sherman
That's
at
right.
Bellarmine.
That's right.
And both of us kind of looked at each other like, "This is too clinical," you know.
Yeah.
I mean, we
We
learned
were
a
all
lot.
breaking out of a mold back then.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
experimenting a lot. And,
Yeah, yeah. So
yeah.
we took what we learned from that and applied it to our own musical philosophies. But you know, I come from a passionate music angle. You know, as far as sitting down and reading the notes off the paper, and you know, it just if it's too sterile, I can't get into it. Because like, you know, listen to Charlie Parker or Diz or Miles Davis. They never played the same solo twice.
No.
You know, and I mean they just knew
They
what
were about
changes they were
improv.
on. Yeah,
They
it was-
weren't.
yeah. But So if you're transcribing solos from Django Reinhardt or Charlie Parker or whatever, you know,
it's no fun.
No.
Yeah.
Just wail, man.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, those were the days.
Oh yeah.
So you've got a record out, at least one record, but the one I know of that's you lead is with the Seratones called Black Dog, and that came out around 2000.
Around 2000. 99, 2000.
Is that still available? Can people?
Yes. It's available on the web, or it's available from me personally. I have copies.
Awesome.
Lots of them.
And you are not on Facebook.
No, I told Facebook we parted ways.
Okay.
Yeah, just and it's too much.
It's a
too much work.
tumultuous relationship.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, I'm
And
thinking
I'm
about
just-
breaking up with Facebook too, but I don't know how to communicate with my listeners without it.
Yeah, and yeah, it's too much work. And right now, I don't even have an internet connection.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Uh-huh.
So that's temporary, but yeah. I mean,
So the record Black Dog will soon be on our playlist, and it's a full-length album, and wow, got some good stuff on here.
it was written between it was written and recorded between marriages,
Aha.
and it's sort of about divorce and then finding someone, and also imagining. I mean, some of those songs are just sort of like, this is what it should be like.
Yeah,
You know.
I listened to a few of them today, and I really, really enjoyed it.
Oh, good. Thank you.
I did not even realize till I got your email that you had a record. So we're very happy to get it.
Yeah, sorry it took so long.
Oh no! Are you gonna play anything from Black Dog? Or
No,
is that
actually,
all just stale for you now?
I didn't prepare anything.
Yeah.
I was going through songs today. I thought, ooh, that's a good one. Ooh, I'll do that one.
You've
And-
got a lot of.
but I
lot
didn't
of good
prepare anything
stuff.
from Black Dog.
You've been writing music. Well, you were writing poetry even, and doing creative writing stuff when I met you back in U of L days. And
Yeah, so
you've been writing for a long time, so I bet you have a very large catalog. Do you ever sell your music?
no, I've tried, but there's I don't know.
Did you do a stint in Nashville too?
I did. I lived in Nashville for 6 years.
Wow, I thought so.
And I tried, knocking on some doors, and just never connected with people,
That you
the right
clicked
kind
with.
of people. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
It's hard. It's really
there's
hard.
all kinds of people that'll say, "Oh yeah, sure, I can record you and sell your songs and everything. Just give me $10,000."
Right,
But no,
right.
if I had $10,000, I mean,
You wouldn't be there looking.
right, I wouldn't need them. So
That's right.
yeah, I kind of got discouraged and gave up. And it was the same thing as in Los Angeles. I mean, working a full-time job and in a relationship, later a marriage. My first wife and I married in 91. And so just, you
Yeah.
can't hang out.
Right.
It's like, sorry, baby, I got to go down to, no, that doesn't fly. So I kind of gave up, and I worked for White Castle down there.
Wow.
Yeah, I worked for White Castle for
I didn't know there was one down
8
there.
years. Yeah, they opened in Nashville in '85.
Wow.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. But
Yeah.
I did write a lot of songs in Nashville. I wrote that last one in Nashville, and this next one.
Well, I think you're a phenomenal songwriter, so
Well, thank you,
hopefully somebody will pick you up.
thank you. I mean, I love to perform my own songs. I don't get much of a chance to, but
Yeah. I think a lot of people don't even realize you do solo. I mean, I didn't really know you did until I saw you at the Towns Van Zandt tribute in
Well,
January, so it's really good that we've got you on here,
Well,
because I think a lot of people are going to be surprised like I was that
well,
it's hard to shine when you're in a band.
Well, my mom always used to say, "Don't hide your light under a bushel."
Yeah.
And I've done that for all my life. But yeah.
Yeah.
They still sound good to me. I was listening to old stuff today. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, shine on, Nick, because I'm
Well,
loving it.
This is another one that I wrote in Nashville, and it was one of those little blurb stories in the Metro section of the paper, and sometimes those inspire the most. So this is called The Mayor of Fairview. Oh, the mayor of Fairview, he sleeps on a bench beneath the great willow where the mockingbirds nest. Oh, the children, they taunt him all night and all day, but the mayor of Fairview has nothing to say. Well, if you see him on Main Street, he looks perplexed. He was a pillar one day and a pauper the next. When the townspeople grieved his wife's untimely death, oh, they mumbled uneasiness under their breath. Weep 'neath the willow tree, sleep 'neath the stars, with a pint for a pillow, you stay out of the bars. Comfort me, open your door, 'cause in Fairview the view's not so fair anymore. Well, he settled here 1944, a wounded veteran of the European theater of war, a businessman, politician, and friend. But there's no one to bury him here in the end. Weep 'neath the willow tree, sleep 'neath the stars, with a pint for a pillow, you'll stay out of the bars. Comfort me, open your door, 'cause in Fairview the view's not so fair anymore. Was it madness that killed him, destroyed a great mind? Or was it too many Chesterfields, too many times? He was the mayor of Fairview, and he didn't look too bad. Well, some called him that bastard, but I called him Dad. Weep 'neath the willow tree, sleep 'neath the stars, with a pint for a pillow, you stay out of the bars. Comfort me, open your door, 'cause in Fairview the view's not so fair anymore. Weep 'neath the willow tree, sleep 'neath the stars, with a pint for a pillow, you stay out of the bars. Comfort me, open your door, 'cause in Fairview the view's not so fair anymore. No, in Fairview the view's not so fair anymore.
Wow, I love that one.
Thank you.
Love it. Nick Reifsteck
Thank
is
you.
here with me on the Homegrown Radio Hour tonight on CrescentHillRadio.com. And I'd like to remind our listeners that Crescent Hill Radio is a nonprofit community radio station, and we do depend on your support. And if you would like to help us out and help continue our mission to bring all this incredible local and regional music to our international listeners via internet radio, you can become a member easily by going to CrescentHillRadio.com and clicking Join Now. And for $25 a year, you get a free T-shirt, about a $10, $15 value. So that's a heck of a bargain. And you will help us continue our mission to bring not just music, but stories of interest and all manner of things that we do here on the station. We have art programming, we have storytellers, we have poets, we have all kinds of fine folks that contribute their talents to make Crescent Hill Radio what it is. And your support can help us continue along that path. And hopefully we'll get out on the FM airwaves here soon in October. And you will also help us meet that goal. So become a member now by going to our website at Crescent Hill Radio. And it's a new website, so if you haven't visited for a while, hopefully you'll be pleasantly surprised. We're kind of proud of it. And always looking for your suggestions. If you have music or programming you'd like to contribute, you can email Christy at CrescentHillRadio.com or just get on the website, check out the various DJs and contacts and see what works for you. We also welcome corporate and business sponsorships, and there's information about becoming a sponsor of the station or a particular show like the Homegrown Radio Hour, like the Wine Shop here on Frankfurt Avenue. And that's real easy to do. It helps us out a great deal. And you can get information about that as well on the website at www.crescenthillradio.com. And I do have Nick Reifsteck with me here on the Homegrown Radio, and he's been playing his original music tonight. He's been playing around town for a long, long time, and if you're just now tuning in, you may recognize his name from some old Louisville favorites, Jill Thorpe and the Beat Boys, Bodeco, Dallas Alice, Hellfish, The Holidays, on and on and on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I played my first professional gig. It was September 30th, 1975, and it was a high school football homecoming at Iroquois High School at the height of court-ordered busing.
Oh, wow.
And, of course, some of the parents of some of the band members wouldn't let their kids go play the gig. So it's like half the band, and we were awful. Even when we were all together, we were awful. But it was like half the band. You know, we had like a clarinet player and it was, you know, we were doing Bad Company. It was nuts. And
clarinet.
Yeah. Oh, and a trumpet. There was a trumpet. Yeah. And so there was no riot. There was no. I mean, it was great. It was fun. It was my first professional gig. So I mean, I think I made $30.
Wow, but you made money. That's a lot of money back then too.
Yeah. And wow, it was called. The band was called Flame.
Flame. Oh,
we had business
maybe
cards.
You were ahead of your time. You know.
Oh Lord.
Because clarinet, trumpet. That might work nowadays.
Yeah, I know. And there was a girl singer. She just played the tambourine. It was really, yeah. And we took a guy with us, a neighbor, a friend of ours, to kind of help roadie. And he was like walking around behind the bandstand on the stage, and he kicked out the main power plug. And so we just went silent. And I don't think anybody in the audience even noticed. Oh,
I love it.
I was 15. I was having fun.
Yeah. Well, now we're a little older than 15, but we're still playing music. And Nick, I'm really happy to have you on the show with me here, and want to hear some more from you.
This is called "I Don't Want Your Money," and just sort of a little bus trip, a little bus adventure. Met a man from Galilee, boarded the bus and sat next to me. He said, well, I once was blind, but now I see. Life is no comedy. Well, he paid his dues, he'd been around. Then he shook his head and frowned. Well, this ticket says I'm Denver bound, but Denver don't want me. Well, I don't want your money. I don't want your money. Well, I don't want your money. Just a minute of your time. He'd been to jail, he'd been to war, shot a clerk in a liquor store. He said, son, I ain't a killer anymore, 'cause Jesus is with me. Well, Denver's full of memories from when I had a family. And I know things have changed since '63, but now I'm returning. And I don't want your money. And I don't want your money. Well, I don't want your money, just a minute of your time. The scenic cruiser pierced the night, safe passage on a western flight. And he said, Denver in the morning light is something you've got to see. Well, he turned away as if to sleep, prayed the Lord his soul to keep. The passengers began to weep as they carried him away. And I don't want your money, and I don't want your money, and I don't want your money, just a minute of your time. Well, I met a man from Galilee, boarded the bus and sat next to me. And he said, well, I once was blind, but now I see. Now his soul is free. And I don't want your money, and I don't want your money, I don't want your money, just a minute of your time, just a minute of your time, just a minute of your time.
Beautiful, beautiful. Nick Reifsteck
Thank
here
you.
with me on the Homegrown Radio Hour. What a beautiful, beautiful song. Is that a new or newish?
No, that's that one's been around for a while. 1991.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
wow.
fine wine.
Isn't it amazing when you
Well,
go
I
back
mean-
through your work and you're like, surely this time period I couldn't have been writing anything worth listening to, and you
would-
pull out all these nuggets.
Yeah, these story songs.
Yeah, I
And,
love 'em.
I mean, I've been guilty of slacking in writing, and it's like binging and purging. I mean, I'll binge on just a discipline of forcing myself to write, and you know, you're not leaving this room till you write something, and that was something from a very creative period where I imposed self-discipline and really created some stuff. But I mean, it's, you know, it's new to you. I mean,
Right.
it's 20 years old to me. It's new to you. That's,
Right.
The friend of mine, this friend of mine was talking the other day. He's like, I don't know, 30. I'm 53. He's 30. He's been catching reruns of Kojak on TV, and he's like, "Man, I'm hooked on Kojak. It's really cool." It's like, man, I remember it when it was new on the network. But he's like, "Wow, Kojak."
That's
yeah.
too much.
I know.
I never would have thought that.
So it's new to him.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's new to me, and I think it's new to a lot of people that you know, are a singer-songwriter. I think a lot of folks think of you as this really talented guitar player and vocalist that has played with a buku number of bands around Louisville, and
Well,
yeah. I did not know, like I said, I did not know you did solo act at all, or even wrote music until the Towns tribute.
yeah,
so.
I'd love to, you know,
Yeah.
play solo somewhere. I mean, you know.
Yeah, well, folks, now we'll have him on the playlist tomorrow, Nick Reifsteck. And if you would like to give Nick a try at your venue or what have you, you can email me at the station. I'll put you in touch with Nick. Or Nick, do you have a web page or anything?
Right now, all I've got is a YouTube channel.
Okay.
And that and a dime will get you a cup of coffee.
But folks can contact you through
yes,
that.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is a Gmail account attached to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Or nreifsteck@hotmail.com.
Got it.
That's email address.
And that's Reifsteck. Do you have time for one more?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm almost in tune. This is called Telling Everybody We're Through. So this is kind of a Bo Diddley style. Has anybody here seen Caroline? Big blue eyes, about a 5'9". Oh, just last night, about a 2:30, yeah. Well, she said, I wanna marry you. Well, I've been searching the broad daylight, and there's no Caroline in sight. Well, what's a guy like me to do, yeah, when she's telling everybody we're through, telling everybody we're through, yeah, telling everybody we're through, telling everybody we're through, yeah. Oh, Caroline, what are you trying to do? Now you're telling everybody we're through, telling everybody we're through. Oh, I thought everything was fine. Gonna spend my life with Caroline. Oh, tell me, have you heard the news? Yeah. Oh, don't believe because it's not true. If you got time for a bottle of beer, well, she'll take your love and she'll disappear. Oh, it happened to me, it could happen to you, yeah. Now she's telling everybody we're through, telling everybody we're through. Oh, look out. Telling everybody we're through, telling everybody we're through, yeah. Oh, Caroline, Caroline, what'll I do? Now you're telling everybody we're through, telling everybody we're through. Oh, look out. Oh, telling everybody we're through, telling everybody we're through, yeah. Oh, Caroline, Caroline, what'll I do? Now you're telling everybody we're through, telling everybody we're through, telling everybody we're through, telling everybody what?
Yeah, give it up for Nick Reifsteck here on the Homegrown Radio Hour live on CrescentHillRadio.com. Nick, you're sounding awesome. You've gotten better with age, if you ask me. Yeah, I enjoyed having you on the show so very much. And, geez, we'll have to get you back on here when you are back in the swing of it with Jill Thorpe and your new project.
Yeah, Sunday Muffin Resurrection.
Sunday Muffin Resurrection. And before I let you go, I wanted to ask you, where did that name come from?
Well, my honey Faye, she when we were getting together originally to practice and just jam, Faye would concoct this dessert thing, Muffin Sunday, where we'd go to Kroger and we'd get some Martha White muffin mix, 10 for $1 or something like that, insane. So Faye would make these muffins, and hot muffins. She'd jazz them up with coconut and chocolate chip. Oh. No matter, I mean, it didn't matter if it was a berry muffin or whatever, so it'd just be this awesome muffin. She'd break it up in the bottom of a bowl, put some ice cream on it, and whipped cream and chocolate syrup, and like sprinkle frozen blueberries on it.
Oh, wow.
And that's a muffin sundae. So we were just, devouring these things. And Fred, the bass player, kind of came up with this Sunday Muffin, Muffin Sunday, Sunday Muffin Resurrection. So he texted us the name idea that he had, and he misspelled resurrection. So it came out as Sunday Muffin Resecretion. But we kind of figured what he meant, you know.
Right.
So now we're like, it's all about the muffin. So it's like Muffin 1 to Muffin 2, you know. You're the muffinator.
I love it.
Come get muffinized. You know, it's, yeah.
Well, you guys are going to have to come in here when you get
it'll
it together.
be a laugh riot. You'll be on the floor. We're just a bunch of jokers.
Well, I know Freddie. Freddie is, yeah.
Oh, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah. So when can we look forward to seeing you all out and about?
Well, the Belknap Festival right now is our first scheduled performance.
And that's
October 11th.
Okay.
Friday the 11th.
And
hopefully
then
we'll
much more after that.
Oh, sure.
So we'll look for you on the show with the new project probably in the wintertime.
Hopefully.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Nick, thank you so much for coming on. And
Thank
if
you
you've
very
got
much.
one more song, we'd love to hear it.
Okay, one more. This
It's up to you.
Yeah. Well, this is actually on the Black Dog album.
Nick Reifsteck here on the Homegrown Radio Hour live on CrescentHillRadio.com. Thanks so much for listening, and stay tuned for the next show, Flies on the Wall. They're going to have a really great show with a big surprise for you coming up at 8:30 here on CrescentHillRadio.com. Thanks for listening, and tune in next week. I'll be here every Wednesday at 7 on Crescent Hill Radio.
Well, it was a day like this one, cloudy with the sky so filled with rain. There sat a bag, a needle, a bottle, and a gun. I was trying to kill my pain. The door wide open to the coming storm. My shirt was torn and stained. In and out of consciousness, I knew there was nothing left to gain. A motel straight out of a bad dream, a town where nobody knew my name. Face down in the hall, a childish scrawl, the note said I was to blame. Now I watch them stand over the shell of a man nobody came forth to claim. Well, they put me in a drawer, I'm not a man anymore, I'm just a sorry ghost in chains. Welcome to the shambles, the wreckage of life. Welcome to the shadows, shadows and light. Oh, what drives a man to ruin? Tell me what drives a man insane? God save the man who roams this land until he's given it all away. Now I watch them stand over the shell of a man in a funeral in the rain. There's a time to pray, there's a time to mourn, but your tears are all in vain. Welcome to the shambles, the wreckage of life. Oh, welcome to the shadows, shadows and light. If I could break these cables holding me down, then I could make that train and turn it around, turn it around. Well, let the crows pick through my last words, leaving my notes in disarray. But I swear by the gun, my daughter, my son, I love you to this day. Now I watch them stand over the shell of a man, shovel dirt upon his grave. His debt is paid in full for the lies he told, but his soul you'll never save. Welcome to the shambles, the wreckage of life. Oh, welcome to the shadows, shadows and light.
Thank you so much, Nick Reifsteck, here on the Homegrown Radio Hour. Thanks for listening, and we will see you next week. Here's brand new from the Quiet Hollers, live on CrescentHillRadio.com.
Ocean's unforgiven tides, how the sunlight breaks the water here, reminds me of her eyes as I sink into that blacking deep. I pray my deep sea mama will come round and rescue me. The captain of my vessel was an old and cruel man. I would not lash my brothers, but only do best as I can. They drug me from my quarters, and they asked me how I pled, and I would not change my story into the deep was what they said. In jewels and golden chains, stolen from the drowning sailors that she's chosen not to save them. Will I be the one to change her mind, or will my skin wash from my bones down here beneath the reach of time? Life falls farther from my eyes. A calmness washes over me, and I am not afraid to die.